Hello everyone, myself Isha Bansal from Gemtech School of Law, Greater Noida. Today through this video, we will learn one of the hot topic of present scenario, that is code ethics and degrading behavior in codes. Ethics denotes to human behavior to make decisions between what is right and what is wrong. Professional ethics are those set of moral principles that governs a person's conduct in his or her professional life. In the legal profession, a lawyer must follow and obey to professional codes. The Indian government has formed a statutory body known as the Bar Council of India. Bar Council of India has framed the rules on the professional standards that an advocate needs to maintain are mentioned in Chapter 2, Part 4 of the Bar Council of India rules. These rules have been mentioned under Section 49(1)(c) of the Advocates Act 1961. So let's become familiar with the two terms that are ethics and code ethics. Ethics means moral principles on the basis of which person's behavior or the conducting of any activity is governed. One of the famous person has defined this term. Ethics is the activities of men directed to secure the inner perfection of his own personality. Second term is code ethics, and it means a code of rules which regulates the behavior and conduct of a practicing lawyer towards himself, his clients, his opposite party, his counsel, and obviously towards the court. There are some rules for the advocates towards the court which is mentioned under the Bar Council of India rules. These are as follows. First rule is act in a solemnly manner. While acting before the court or during the presentation of his case, an advocate should act in a dignified manner. He should at least conduct himself with self-respect. However, whenever there is a proper and complete ground for serious complaint against a judicial officer or representative, the advocate features a right and duty to submit his grievance to proper authorities. Next is respect the court. An advocate should always respect the court. An advocate should always keep in mind that the dignity, respect, and courtly manner should be maintained towards the judicial office is essential for the survival of free community. Next is not communicate privately. An advocate should not communicate privately to a judge with reference to any matter pending before the judge or the other judge. An advocate shouldn't influence the final and ultimate decision taken by a judge in the court in any matter by using any illegal or improper means like coercion, bribe, etc. Next is refuse to act in an unethical manner towards the opposition. An advocate should refuse to act in an illegal or improper manner towards the opposing counsel or the opposing parties. He shall also use his best efforts to restrain and to stop his clients from acting in any illegal, improper, and unethical manner or use unfair practice towards the judiciary, opposing counsel, or the opposing parties. Next rule is refuse to represent clients who enforce on unfair means. An advocate shall refuse to represent any client who insists on using unfair or improper means. An advocate shall implement his own judgment in such matters. He shall not blindly follow or completely rely on the instructions of the clients. He shall be dignified in use of his language, in correspondence, and through the arguments in court. He shall not intentionally damage the reputation of the parties on false grounds during pleadings. He shall not use unparliamentary language during arguments within the court. Next is appear in proper dress code or uniform. An advocate should always appear in the court only in the dress or the uniform prescribed under the Bar Council of India rules. An advocate should always be presentable with proper uniform. Next is refuse to appear in front of relations. An advocate shouldn't act, plead, or practice in any way before a judicial authority if the sole or any member of bench is related to the advocate in any form of relation such as father, grandfather, son, grandson, uncle, brother, nephew, cousin, husband, wife, mother, daughter, sister, etc. Next rule is not allowed to wear bands or gowns in public places. An advocate should not wear bands or gowns in the public places other than in courts, except whenever there are ceremonial occasions or some specified places like the Bar Council of India or the court may prescribe. Next rule is not to represent establishment of which he is a member. An advocate should not appear in or present himself before any judicial authority for or against any establishment if he is in any way a member of the management of the establishment. Next is not appear in any matter of financial interest. An advocate should not plead or practice in any matter in which he has financial or pecuniary interest. For instance, he should not act during a bankruptcy petition when he is also a creditor of a bankrupt. He should also not accept a quick or brief from a company or corporation of which he is a director. Last but not the least, should not stand or present himself as surety for clients. An advocate should not stand or present himself as a surety or certify the soundness of a surety that his client require for the purpose or aim of any legal proceedings. Now we will learn about degrading behavior of professionals in the court, and usually it termed as contempt of court. Non-acceptable behavior by the professionals in the court usually termed as contempt of court. Contempt is the offense of being disobedient to or disrespectful towards the court of law and its officers within the sort of behavior that opposes or defies the authority, justice, and dignity of the court. There are significantly two categories of contempt: being disrespectful to legal authorities in the courtroom or willfully failing to obey court orders. Now we will come to know that who are liable for contempt of court. These are as follows: parties to a proceeding, attorney, witnesses, jurors, people in or around the proceeding, officers or the staff of the court itself. These are the people who became liable for the contempt of court. Further, contempt of court has been divided into two parts: civil contempt and the criminal contempt. It tells that what type of contempt has been done and what people who will be liable for the contempt of court. Are they liable for the civil contempt or they liable for the criminal contempt? First is civil contempt. Civil contempt usually involves the failure of someone to comply with the court orders. Judges use civil contempt sanctions to pressurize such a person into complying with the court orders which the person has violated. In criminal contempt of court, the charges are punitive or penal, means they are served to deter future acts of contempt by punishing the offenders no matter what happened in the underlying proceedings. Someone confined or imprisoned for criminal contempt can't secure their own release by deciding to comply with the courts. So at last, I would like to say professional ethics are not only important for lawyers or advocates. They are equally important to any field, whether it's business or employment or any other profession. If we compare legal profession to any other profession, we may find that there is no as such punishment for the misconduct or unacceptable behavior by that particular individual. But in legal profession, one has to obey all the rules and regulations given under the specified act. Otherwise, you will be punished. In general viewpoint, an individual should work with ethics, that what makes them disciplined towards their profession or work. I hope through this video I am clear with the topic with you all. Thank you.
Thank you for watching our video. Like, share and subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for the latest updates. And also check the link in the description to read the full article.